You have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the most profound and influential Hindu scriptures. It is said that you can randomly open any page of this small yet powerful book and find answers to life's deepest questions. At its core, the Gita tells the story of the warrior Arjuna, who faces a moral and emotional crisis on the battlefield. He is paralyzed by doubt, torn between duty and despair. In this moment of uncertainty, he turns to Krishna, an avatar of the god Vishnu, who offers him divine wisdom. But this battle is more than just a war between armies. It represents the internal war we all face, the battle between our fears, doubts, desires, and the search for inner clarity and peace. Krishna tells Arjuna a truth that resonates through time. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, the mind will remain the greatest enemy. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 6. What does it mean to conquer the mind? Philosophers across time have echoed this idea. Plato once said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself." But what does that truly mean? How do we conquer the mind? Before we can answer that, we must ask, what is the mind? Who are we, the ones seeking to conquer it? Is there even a difference between the two? The mind is essentially thought. Without thoughts, the individual mind does not exist. In the absence of thought, what remains is the universal consciousness, what some call enlightenment, moksha, or nirvana. We often believe we are separate from our thoughts, but the truth is our thoughts shape us. They are the result of our past, our experiences, our genetics, and the interplay between the two. For example, if you had been born and raised in another country with the same parents, your thoughts, beliefs, and perspectives would be entirely different. So who is the real you? The Bhagavad Gita is part of the Vedic texts, which revolve around the concept of non-duality. They teach that we are not separate from our thoughts. Rather, we are the process of thinking itself. To sum it up, the mind is made up of thoughts. Thoughts arise from the past. We are not separate from our thoughts. We are shaped by them. So, what does it really mean to conquer the mind? Most people think it means exerting control over their thoughts, pushing away negative emotions, forcing discipline, or suppressing desires. But this approach creates inner conflict. The moment we think we are separate from our thoughts and try to control them, we create a division between the thinker and the thought. In this division, struggle arises. This is why traditional ideas of self-control often backfire. So, how do we escape this struggle? The Bhagavad Gita teaches that every person is born with a unique Dharma, a life purpose, a path that is uniquely ours. Dharma means right direction. It is what you were born to do. When you align with your Dharma, inner conflict diminishes because your choices become clear. For example, imagine a girl raised in foster care after being abandoned by her parents, who were drug addicts. She becomes pregnant at 17. What is her Dharma? Her Dharma is to be present for her child, to break the cycle of abandonment, and to heal her ancestral wounds. If she ignores this duty, she may face guilt and internal conflict. But by accepting her path, she finds strength and purpose. As Krishna tells Arjuna, it is better to perform one's own duties imperfectly than to master the duties of another. By fulfilling the obligations one is born with, a person never comes to grief. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 47. To make peace with the mind, you must make peace with your past. And to make peace with your past, you must accept your Dharma. The key is non-resistance, embracing life as it is rather than fighting against it. Even when we follow our Dharma, the mind can still be restless, filled with anxiety and doubt. Krishna offers a solution, karma yoga, the path of selfless action. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse 19. We cannot control our genetics, our environment, or the karma we are born into. But we can control how we act within those circumstances. By focusing on action and detaching from the outcome, we free ourselves from anxiety and suffering. This is what it means to truly surrender, to act with love without expectation. Take writing, for example. Many of us are writers. When we write for the joy of writing, we are free. But when we write for claps, validation, or money, we feel restricted. Our creativity becomes a struggle. The Gita teaches us, write for yourself, not for others. Ironically, when you write for yourself, you write for everyone, because human consciousness is collective. Let's revisit Krishna's wisdom. For him who is in alignment with his Dharma, the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to find his purpose, the mind will remain the greatest enemy. When you discover and follow your Dharma, decision-making becomes effortless. And by practicing karma yoga, acting without attachment to results, you free yourself from anxiety about the future. This is the true path to inner peace, presence, and love. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't just teach us to conquer the mind. It teaches us how to live.